Okay, a draw in the opening week of the month, a win for Stuart last week means this is a big week. If I have any chance of beating him in this month, which I really want to do, I have to win this week.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TEW in the 04 War. We're ready to go once again. Week 3 of the Backlash booking. It's going to be a big week, but as I say, it's all about those final squads this week. I need to win. After last week, it's left us in a bad state, as in last episode. I need to win. So hopefully I do. We're going to get straight onto it. Monday Night Raw. Drop a like on it now if you're enjoying this series. And we're going to get going. Raw first, Smackdown second. Let go. Okay, Raw kicks off in the pre-show once again. Orlando Jordan beating Scotty 2 Hotty. They have good chemistry together, which is interesting. And a good win for Orlando. Running power slam because that's his finish, if we remember. And yeah, fine. Orlando getting some wins. There's a plan for Orlando in place, so he's getting some wins. Fine. Second pre-show match. John Cena beats Matt Morgan for a 62. Cena couldn't quite carry Morgan.
But for 71 performance rating, that's promising. As you know,
The Matt Morgan is a worry, but we'll see how it goes later in the show.
Let's kick off the show then.
That is what it is. The main show that kicks off with some wrestling, kind of, because it's Goldberg, so kind of wrestling. But it's kicking off with a match. It's Goldberg versus Tajiri for a 78. So Goldberg got a similar out of Tajiri that Shawn did. That shows how not bad, but underwhelming the Shawn match was last week.
Yeah, I mean, you would think this was it simple. Well, we'll check it later, but obviously, was it a bit better this one than Shawn's last week?
I think it's the same. But that's what I'm saying. You'd expect better from Shawn.
Yeah, but I think because of the height of obviously Tajiri's obviously cruiserweight and obviously Goldberg, would be a better spectacle to watch in the sense that you could probably see him chucking him around the ring.
Maybe.
Might be just logistically a better match in that sense.
Yeah. Tajiri coming back with the kicks, like you said earlier. Yeah, that could work. But it's the post-match angle, isn't it? It's the angle that we're all caring about. Goldberg calls out Brock Lesnar. But instead, he gets HBK Shawn Michaels, 85 rated segment. Shawn Michaels comes out and says, listen, Goldberg, you've made this mess. It could have been me and you one-on-one for the championship at the pay-per-view. But no, Goldberg. You had to stick your big head where it wasn't needed. I would have beaten Brock Lesnar. I've beaten him before. But you had to get yourself involved. And now look what's happened. It is triple threat at the pay-per-view. Brilliant. Shawn Michaels just not being a heel, but just harkening back to the attitude that Shawn Michaels used to bring in the 90s, where he's like, hang on a minute, this isn't right. This is crap because it's not his fault. Do you know what I mean? Shawn Michaels has a right to feel aggrieved here because he's in a triple threat with two monsters, and it's not where I'd want to be, if I'm really honest.
I don't know. Actually, I always like that faces like that. They actually, like, instead of being bland kind of characters, they actually are annoyed when things aren't going their way.
But
I like
because Shawn Michaels is annoyed, and we know when Shawn Michaels is annoyed, he turns into a cocky little prick. Because this is Shawn Michaels, even post 2002 Shawn Michaels. Goldberg has enough, spears down Shawn Michaels, ends the angle over the champion who's been speared out of his boots. 85. Okay, good stuff. Backstage, Chavo Guerrero accepts Rey Mysterio's challenge, but puts a little bit of a spin on it. He says, you know what? Because I love beating you up so much, I'm going to accept the challenge. But I'm not just going to accept the challenge. I'm going to make it 2 out of 3 falls. How's about that? That's right. Chavo and Rey, 2 out of 3 falls next week on Raw. But Chavo says, however, before the match is official, I want you to come down to that ring later tonight, sign the contract to confirm guaranteed in writing that it'll be your last ever Cruiserweight Championship opportunity. Chavo wants it in writing, which you kind of would, because this is wrestling.
Well, as always, I never got that either in wrestling. It's like they make the stipulation, but no one's smart enough to put it in writing. Yeah, everyone knows that. Put it in writing. So he's Chavo using his brain, like it.
Okay, big segment next. Out comes Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Out comes Shane McMahon. You'll notice I've not clicked next segment. We'll get to it. Vince and Shane come out and they address last week's... Well, there's only one word for it, really. Last week's madness in the main event scene.
Oh, no, I didn't say that.
Brock Lesnar, Goldberg. I mean, it could have ended very, very badly. And at the moment, Raw is heading that way, that it's just kind of out of hand. The prisoners are running the asylum, so to speak, it feels like, says Vince. He says, that's why we are going to take a step back and we are bringing in some help. Say hello, ladies and gentlemen, to the one man who can handle the madness. The new Raw General Manager. Oh, Macho Man Randy Savage. No freaking way. I'm not bothered. I don't care. It's Randy Savage. It's Randy Savage.
You did say, though, like, you don't care about the rating.
I don't care. It's Randy Savage. He's back.
Fanboy.
Oh, yeah.
Carl's fanboy in here, but I get it. I get it.
Honestly, just do the... Oh, it's brilliant. Randy Savage is the new general manager of Monday Nights.
All I'm saying is if he's still charged by that point to Survivor Series, the idea that we could have Mick Foley and Randy Savage in the segment is just, oh, God, so good.
I don't care about the rating. This would be like in real life, this would be an all-time segment. This is the Macho Man Randy Savage, who hasn't been seen in the WWE for 11 years at this point.
You could sit there and say it's probably got the same. It would get the same reaction as probably when Hogan came back. That's huge, especially in old.
Huge. It's Randy Savage. Oh, Randy Savage. It's honestly one of my absolute favourites, and I have to do it.
Is it one that can't stress this enough? That is Macho Man Randy Savage.
I cannot stress it enough, Stu. It is, yeah.
Now we just got. Hopefully, we can find out if he's the man for the job.
Well, he will be. He will be. Right. So the crowd are popped. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back to break to Macho Man Randy Savage. He's settling into his new office.
It's got you already, mate. It's already got you.
Settling into his new office. When in come Evolution,
oh God, of course he's done this.
who have been called in by Randy Savage. All right?
Oh, no. I'm dreading this.
Only for an 83. I'm worried. Randy Orton is poor. Right, we're having an off night tonight. Anyway, doesn't matter. Savage invites Evolution in and says, look, I've called you here because now the Macho Man is in charge. I'm not going to do an accent. I'm not doing it.
Well, to be fair, we can't.
But he says now the Macho Man is in charge, and you guys think you're the cream of the crop.
Oh God, he's used that line.
I'm enjoying myself.
You know what makes this even better? Is you've got Mean Gene on this roster. Oh, this is going to be great. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Anyway, you guys think you're the cream of the crop, running around here doing what you want. Well, last week was a joke, right? He says, it is not right, it is not fair. And tonight, the Macho Man puts it right. Tonight in the main event, it is Booker T versus Ric Flair. Evolution are banned from ringside. And if Booker wins, he's facing Randy Orton for the title at Backlash. Now get out of my office.
Laying down the law, and his first literally seconds in the job. I like it.
Oh. Look, I don't care about the Sigma Reigns. It is what it is. I'm not understanding them, but it is what it is. Okay, so we'll go from that to JBL coming down to the ring with a microphone in hand, and he is going to show everyone a piece of footage. This is good, 78. Really good for these two. Yeah, going to show everyone a piece of footage on the Tron, and it's the footage of JBL walloping Dave Finlay with chair shot after chair shot to every inch of Finlay's body. JBL bragging about it when the music of Finlay hits. Out he comes for a brawl. JBL wasn't even expecting him to be here. He was expecting a forfeit win, but the match goes on. Look, Finlay starts with a brawl, but he's not fit. I don't even know how he's been cleared. He may not have been cleared. The match starts, and in 4 minutes, JBL destroys Finlay for a 61. What?
Let's put that down.
I know Finlay's a 58, but JBL's put in an 80. Whatever. JBL beats Finlay, dominates him, wins with a clothesline from hell, which has been spelt really odd, if I'm really honest. But it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, JBL dominates, and it's 1-1 in the series. Next week.
Sorry, could it be the short? It's a short match, maybe.
Maybe, I guess, but still, I don't know. Next week they will settle it. And the announcers will put over the fact that now that JBL's won, we're hearing from the GM's office that next week the final match will take place inside a steel cage.
The idea. Let's be honest, you've missed out a very good opportunity of watching Manly Savage saying inside a steel cage. That would have been glorious.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, so that's what's going to happen. 61, whatever, fine. TNA, High Risk, and the Knockout Artists all have tag team promos ahead of the triple threat. They all put over how much they want to be champions. Big Show says they're basically champions anyway. They're going to destroy Taker and Kane, but let's just get through this little workup, shall we? And book our place. High Risk talk about the fact that they will be honoured to be in the ring with legends like Undertaker and Kane. And TNA talk about the fact that, you know what? They are not getting the attention they deserve. So they are going to take the attention and take the titles. Who is going to Backlash then? TNA, High Risk, or the Knockout Artists? Well, the answer is neither of them. Any of them? All of them.
The big question mark is this match, the mystery.
The mystery for a moment. High Risk drew with TNA and the Knockout Artists 6 minutes ago. The match descended into chaos. The referee threw it out. Big Show carries this with the 80. The rest are all about the same sort of level, so it's not too bad. 62 is about what I expected. We're having an off night, but that's okay. Sometimes
it might work.
It might. Yeah, who knows with this game? Yeah, it is what it is, right? The Knockout Artists wanted the title opportunity. So did TNA. So did High Risk. Well, afterwards, they're all brawling, and to break it up, the lights go out.
Well, sometimes we wish you have one of those boards where you can press the sound effects. This works so well here.
Gong, you damn right, gong. And Taker and Kane come out onto the stage with the tag team championships over their shoulders, and the Undertaker says some quite simple words, not great considering Taker's in it, but oh well. He says, "You know what? All three of you teams at Backlash will rest in peace." Taker has the control because it's the Undertaker. It'll be a fatal four-way for the tag titles.
To be fair, I know you attempted to try and go that deep Undertaker voice. You were trying it, weren't you?
I feel like I would hurt for days on the chest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting for Backlash. Should be good, right? Should we get to the contract signing? Chavo wants Ray to sign the contract. Ray does try and sign the contract. Chavo signs the contract. And then Chavo gets a smile on his face. And the fans start to get scared because standing behind Rey Mysterio is a mammoth of a man. The new bodyguard for Chavo Guerrero, Matt Morgan, 58. Matt Morgan really has brought the segment down now. I was aware that may happen. I was aware.
But it's not the end of the world because 58, again, it could have been worse. Could have been worse than that.
Not great. It's not great, to be honest. But it is what it is. Yeah, Chavo's got a new bodyguard. So next week, 2 out of 3 falls. Maybe Matt Morgan may make a difference. We'll see. Should be an interesting Cruiserweight Championship match next week. Okay, backstage, Ric Flair tells Randy Orton that's going to help the show. Ooh, thank you.
Much better.
Ric Flair is he tells Orton, don't worry about it. I've got this. Booker T is not going to beat a man like Ric Flair. And Savage knows it, right? Savage knows it. Savage remembers the battles he had with Ric Flair. And Batista just goes, didn't he beat you at WrestleMania? And Rick just goes, whoa. What do you know? Shut up. Nothing to do with you. Flair tells Orton, don't worry about it. I got it. Orton does not look convinced.
But I've got to be honest, I love that segment. It makes Batista look, but you lost that, right? It's like, oh, shut up. Nobody cares what you think. It's like, yeah, I like segments like that. Anyway, so night one, that's better for you, man. It should help.
Let's see if this will help. Brock Lesnar versus the Hurricane in a Rumble rematch for an 84. Better than the match they had at the Rumble, which is good.
What was that,
Lesnar 78 it was last time. So better. Lesnar 92, Hurricane 59. Brock wins quite comfortably because it's Brock Lesnar. No problemo at all. So we go from that. Well, it looks like somebody else is here for a fight. After last week where Brock Lesnar nearly killed him, if we're honest, nearly killed him. Goldberg's laid out the champion. And now he's laying out the biggest challenger too. 87. Goldberg comes down for a fight and spears Brock Lesnar through the barricade. And the announce team, JR, will be saying in his southern drawl, who the hell can stop Goldberg? And that's the question going into Backlash. Who can stop this man?
Mammoth of a man.
Man mammoth, yes. Okay, backstage, Booker T is preparing for the match when in comes John Cena for an 82. Cena says, listen, I get it, Evolution are banned from ringside, but, you know, we both know they're going to get involved, even if it's afterwards. I can be there for you. I can help you. I can have your back. Booker says, look, I appreciate it, right? But you know what? I'm Booker T. I don't need any help. And Booker T goes out for the ring. Cena looks a bit like, okay, that was a bit dickish, but fine. But yeah, Booker, let's say he is alienating the baby faces in the locker room.
That's not good, is it? It's not good.
It's not good when you're going up against someone, a group like Evolution. But you know what? Booker's got a chance here. It's Booker versus Flair. Can Booker book his place to Backlash? Booker book his place to Backlash. Can it be Booklash? Can it be Booklash? We'll find out. It's Booker and Ric Flair. Good match, 89. And Booker T defeats Ric Flair to go on to Backlash, to go to the Intercontinental Championship opportunity. It will be Booker T versus Randy Orton at Backlash. We're always getting there, all right? We're always getting there.
But to be fair, this way this show goes, it's probably going to be a best show.
I do not think so. It's been a bit of a train wreck of a show. We're not quite done though. Post-match, Booker T has alienated the baby faces, so no one's there to save him when Evolution beat him down for a second week in a row. And
I guess it just ends with them standing triumphant.
Standing triumphant. Right, let's just get it over with. Raw gets... How?
See what I mean?
How?
It's got one rating better than last week.
I had 191. What? How is this a better show than last week's show?
I think it might be because it's the first and last segment. Well, last match you said sense works. I don't know. I think that's why I get it. Like why I get the scores I do, because it's just.
I can't make sense of it. I just can't. I mean, I'll take it. 90. We've been bailed out that game. Thank you for bailing me out. But I've got Macho Man Randy Savage, so I do not care. Let's go. Let's go to SmackDown.
Let's find out.
Okay, SmackDown kicks off on the pre-show. CM Punk going to win over Chuck Palumbo this time. 42 again, so he hasn't changed this week. But yeah, similar sort of story. Punk getting a win.
Never heard.
Just slowly boost.
Yeah, well, as always, just trying to see what you can do against. Obviously, both got 42. Got a 42, so. See where that goes. A Devil's Lock DDT. I'm intrigued to see what that move is. Might look it up afterwards. But we're just trying to. Hopefully, when I decide what I do with CM Punk, 42. It's interesting. Should do well against some like 60s or that kind of stuff. So.
Should boost him. Basham's second match on the pre-show, 51 for a win over Stevie Richards and Val Venus. Val Venus carries it, but yeah, good win for the Bashams. That should help them.
Makes you think I need to use a bit of Val Venus a bit more. Like use them as because I did a little bit, but I don't as much.
Maybe.
Might have to put him on the show a bit more, but that's an idea.
Here's an idea, right? We'll get to the main show. We'll kick off with Kurt Angle and Edge for 95.
Oh, thank God. I think what we obviously want to talk about before to say I was really worried about this segment because of obviously what happened with Edge and Kurt Angle last week with the kind of lower score than I expected. I was really worried, but at 95, okay, I'm happy with that. Anyway, so getting to the talk. Anyway, so basically, what this starts to show, obviously, Kurt Angle, like we're not talking about like literally seconds after they announced like "Welcome to Smackdown." You got Kurt Angle walking down the ring with his music, absolutely fuming because he lost like Edge. Obviously, we all know a little bit of history between Edge. Obviously, the reason he's bald is because of Edge. So he still has
a grudge,
somewhat hatred for the man. So basically it starts with a thing. Kurt Angle comes to the ring, shouting like, "Edge, get your ass down to this ring right now." And then his Edge comes, and obviously Edge obliges, comes to the ring, kind of does a situation, says like, Kurt, like a casual way, saying, "Kurt, what do you want? Like, what's like?" And that makes Edge, Kurt Angle even more furious. Which is like, what do I want? You got lucky last week. I know I could beat you, and you forget who I am. I know I can beat you, and you know if I can face you again when I'm prepared, when I know who my opponent is, I know I can beat you. You got lucky. And then kind of Edge kind of says, "Oh, okay, sure, Kurt. I mean, the rumors going around the back is you're on a losing streak. I mean, if you was it when I beat you last week, it all but confirmed it. Because obviously this means that, pun intended, lost your edge, so to speak. I mean, what happened to the Angle when we guys went to war 2 years ago? What happened to the guy when we faced off for those WWE Tag Team Championships? Where is that guy? If you were that guy, I would say yes. But you're not. So, but if I always say yes, only if you're that intense. The Kurt Angle I was facing 2 years ago, and not a washed-up has-been. That Kurt, we're talking about Kurt. So after that comment, you can guess what Kurt does.
Yeah.
And just basically fight. We have a fight between Edge and Kurt Angle. But then obviously Edge gets a spear on Kurt Angle. He goes outside the ring, and we kind of end the segment with Edge in really confident, happy, and inside the ring you got Kurt like fuming on the outside, pacing. You know. So basically, yeah. It's but I'm high five.
Really
I was really
segment.
worried that wouldn't do well, so I'm happy.
Really good. Follow up to last week's big upset backstage, 57.
Yeah, pretty happy with that. So basically this is kind of as you expect. You've seen it all before when there's stables, when the stables have got a system where it's basically one person's at the top and the other ones are like lackeys type thing. Basically it's like Monty Holly basically going in the locker room going like to Gail Kim like, what the hell was that last week? Like, you pinning me? I mean, and Gail Kim's like kind of like, I didn't mean to, like the coward like thing, like I didn't mean to. But then Monty Holly goes, okay. I don't want to fight. We've got bigger things. We've got bigger things. This could work for our advantage. This could work. We can kill two birds with one stone here. Obviously, then she goes, Jazz, you can get rid of the problem that is Victoria, but when you face her tonight 1-on-1, you can take her out of the equation. And then goes to Gail Kim saying, okay. I like example like sexual apology type thing, and kind of goes like, okay, but like similar to when Triple H said to Randy Orton when he won, like when he went against Chris Benoit, shall not be named, where it's like when he turned on him. Not saying that's going to happen here, but the same segment is like weaken the opponent for me. So it says you can weaken Trish when you face her, and then so she's weak enough so when I face her, I can win my title match. It's mine. But that title is mine. But then you got Gail Kim kind of looking at it going, wait, no, that's not like kind of like it's too scared to say anything.
Right.
But like the facial expression goes like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
And then we just cut. Then the cut kind of ends there. But yeah, 57, happy with that. Pretty good.
Dissension in a spire is what you're trying to say. But one man who did return last week, Rikishi's in action next, so he's got a promo ahead of it.
65, yes, cool. I'm happy. Again, this is kind of a simple promo in the sense it's Rikishi saying he's happy to be back. All we can think about for the last couple of months or last couple of weeks is getting revenge on Mark Henry. I mean, he took months, well, timing anyway, like months when he chucked me off that stage.
Yeah.
All I could think about was getting revenge, destroying Mark Henry like he destroyed me. So tonight, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So sets up next match, I think, quite nicely.
Okay, Rikishi versus Mark Henry, Battle of the Hosses for a 69.
Yeah, it's what you expect. Obviously I could have easily just gone here and just Rikishi comes back, gets the win, and that's the end of the feud. But I kind of, as you expect, as much as you might disagree with the decision of last week, you can't just beat the world champion and then lose to Rikishi. It just can't. Got to keep up the momentum, and obviously it extends the fuse a little bit. But yeah, it says world's strongest splash. That, but I've just gone on the simple, the idea that Rikishi's basically hot tempered, and that revenge and like tunnel vision focus to get revenge cost him the match. With obviously was it Mark Henry hit like a chop block on Rikishi's leg, as we know it's been worked on before in previous weeks, and then hits the world's strongest slam to get the win. In that sense, I mean, different here, but yeah. 6-9. For the levels they are,
good.
That's pretty
good.
good.
A good hoss battle. Well brawl, good hoss battle. Okay, next segment. Lance Storm gets a save here.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a segment where it's, as you expect, Rikishi saved him last week. It's only fair that he saves him this week. Kind of sets up for maybe a match next week. We'll be married, but. Let's be honest, kind of is. But yeah, it's the same for him as last week. 2-1 or Rikishi, and then obviously our side Lance Storm comes along, makes a save. They 2-2 get out. They both get out of the ring, and we got the Rikishi and Lance Storm standing tall. And let's be honest, this kind of is setting up a tag match next week.
Okay, cool, good stuff. I like it. Kurt Angle though, I like this. 74.
Okay, I'm happy with that. This is the kind of thing I kind of want to put. I need to think of something really clever, not really clever, but think of something to try something different. But as we know, Paul Heyman's not against doing favors for people or asking for favors. But this is kind of set up as obviously Kurt's still fuming, obviously from the opening segment. He wants to get revenge on Edge tonight, but he obviously he knows that he can't just outright just take the guy out or just have another match with him. So he kind of tries to get help from an old friend or an old team, as you will, in the sense that he goes to Paul Heyman and the world's greatest tag team, as we all know, used to be Team Angle. So obviously we got Kurt going to say, asking, Paul Heyman, I know you got business tonight with the Dudleys. I know you've got that going on, but like for old time's sake, do you want to help me get a little bit of revenge on Edge? Obviously, Paul Heyman is like, I always found Paul Heyman is the guy that's like, he's like that friend that's just, it's like, oh sure, man, yeah, man. I remember, like, of course he's going to say yes. And obviously, we kind of implied that it's Shelton Benjamin, because obviously we're trying to build him. So it's like Shelton Benjamin's like, I want to prove how good I am. So kind of sets up a match between Edge later tonight, and but as the whole segment is basically Paul Heyman he's going to some old friends or old teammates to try and get one up on Edge.
Okay, let's that's it's one of these things where it's like you can feel something's coming. RVD promo on the head of the main event against Rhino tonight for the US title.
Obviously it's kind of alluding from last week, obviously, because we saw a different side to RVD last week, a very more intense, very more, let's be honest, pissed off side of RVD. For a guy that's very chill, they put him over the edge last week. Obviously RVD this week he's more relaxed. He's back to his old RVD self, because obviously he's had a week to relax and calm down. But he just talks about how he kind of forgot that obviously as a US champion, all these people are going to be gunning for him. So he kind of, unfortunately last week I learnt the hard way, and to be fair, kind of in a way, kind of apologizes for like the kind of intensity and kind of action, because as it'd be interesting. It's like he lost his cool. That tells you enough about the whole segment.
Yeah.
But obviously, but tonight he's gonna prove he's good. But if it's one thing, last week, yes, I lost my cool, but it's one thing. That maybe when I'm outside the ring, I have lost my. I'm a chill, but in that ring, you've unleashed a different side of myself that I'm going to show tonight against you, Rhino. You're going to pay for what you did to me last week. You're going to find out this new and improved RVD, and you're going to and I got to be honest, you're going to wish you didn't.
Well. Good stuff. Good promo as well. Edge promo on Kurt and Shelton for a 78.
Okay, I'm happy with that. It's pretty solid stuff at the moment. But yeah, this kind of thing, obviously, it was the first time I kind of asked Edge what his feelings were, because obviously it's been about his returning. It's kind of Edge just talking about how much he's been thinking about this whole time for a long time. Because I think in real life he was out for 6 months, or a long time in real life, I think. I think he was out for a while
with a broken neck, I think.
Something like that. But yes, it's kind of like similar to kind of Rikishi in a sense, but like he's been out for a while. So he's been thinking about long and hard about if he's going to come back, who is he going to face? And he's been watching the show, and he's been watching Kurt Angle's descent in a way, like last couple of months, and he knew he needed to face this angle. So just because he knew, Edge is kind of like, I knew if I want to make an impact on, everyone knows in wrestling you've got to make an impact on your return, and to go against a unfocused angle, it's the best person to go against. But yeah, and kind of sets up like I've also watching you, Shelton. I've been really impressed with what you've been doing, but unfortunately for you, it's not going to mean much because I'm going to win. I'm going to spear you, and Kurt Angle, you'll be next.
Okay, Edge, big promo. Edge Shelton Benjamin then could be an interesting one. It gets
as well.
76, good stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of. After we'll talk about a bit more, but at least wasn't. But when you think Shelton Benjamin,
when you think of the popularities, this is a good rating.
Yeah, to be fair though, if you think about it, a couple of months, if I build them up right, that could be a huge match. It's going to be a huge match. I'm hoping so. But this is kind of a nice. The way I've set this up is got a lot of great match, a lot of counters. Book it the way you would expect, like a really close, intense, great match would be. It's a good match. But I like the idea of at the end of it. It's like Shelton Benjamin tries to hit that spinning kick, another one where it's like he spins the kick, catches it and spin. It's a cool kick. It's a cool move. But was it Edge, and he misses. Edge gets out of the way. Then Edge hits a German suplex. Trying to make a bit more mind games on Kurt Angle. And then just when Shelton Benjamin gets up, boom, spear. Gets the 1, 2, 3, gets the win. But as what happened next is interesting.
Big post-match segment. Oh.
That's fine. I mean, to be fair, I was happy with the opener, so I can't be asking for that twice, can I?
No, straight.
But yeah, this kind of probably has been hinted at for a while. But basically, got after the match, obviously Edge is really happy he won, and all of a sudden Kurt comes from behind, attacks Edge. Hits 2 ankle slams on him, locks in the ankle lock, makes him tap. I mean, Kurt Angle is he's lost it. And as probably has been teased for a while, Kurt Angle's turned heel.
Turn was a complete success. Kurt Angle is now a heel.
I think that's it's been kind of implied in the last.
Yeah. Mick Foley's office then with Vitamin C for an 82. I'm kind of implied that obviously last week with RVD kind of saying I'll face you all, that obviously they're all going to have a shot. But obviously, was it Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle going to Mick's office saying, like, what the hell? Like, where's Christian's rematch? Because obviously, we have to be implied for Triple H as well that Mick doesn't really give rematches type thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, you have to earn it. But obviously, this is different because obviously RVD is like demanding it. So It's like, if he's demanding it, he'll give the champ what he wants in that sense. But anyway, so basically, it's like he said he wants his rematch, obviously, in which he wants to face RVD. And obviously RVD last week said he wants to face them all. Christian says he wants to get his rematch 1-on-1 because obviously he wants to be fair. But Mick's like kind of okay, it's going to be a triple threat. And it said whoever wins tonight obviously implies that we don't know who's going to win. Of course, it's going to be Christian versus your friend Chris Jericho. So I know it's kind of implied that it was being that, but this is kind of confirming it that the triple threat is happening at Backlash. But what I like about this is it's Chris Jericho kind of looks happy.
like, because he's like, he wants to help his friend, but he gets a title shot.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be champion at anything, right? And obviously it's like contrast emotions. You got Chris Jericho, yeah, I'm liking this, and then you got Christian, like, what the hell is this? Why am I in a triple threat? Even if he's got his friend, but we've implied that, as before, that there's been a bit of dissension between them. So it's not. A couple of weeks ago, it might have been a slam dunk, but not this time. So Christian isn't happy.
No, definitely not. 82. Right. This segment gets 50.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine because obviously she's just come back, so little bit of work, but it's cool for what it is. But yeah, again, you got to ask. Again, it's the same thing. Victoria's come back. Haven't really heard from her from obviously all the stuff we've heard from what she's done. It's kind of Victoria just talks about how much it's been fun to make basically Molly Holly's life a living hell after obviously taking a leg out for how long she's been out, and now she's back. She's going to do it all over again, and tonight it's going to start with Jazz.
Okay, let's see how that goes then. Victoria versus Jazz. Again, 50.
Again, that's
not
fine.
bad. It's not bad.
I mean, for people there, was it? Got to be honest, like with Jazz there, I think really big to build her up, but quite well actually, because obviously just for 47, normally that would be the other way around with Victoria. But yeah, that's kind of it's kind of on the fly, this one, in a sense. I like the idea of Jazz trying to work on Victoria's leg. You know, trying to be calculating with this. But I don't know how to put it, but I like the idea of, like, there's a bit of psychology in it, in the sense that obviously we know that Victoria was the one that kidnapped them the last couple of months, couple of weeks. And so I like the idea that, like, yeah, she at first she's paralysed with fear a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously the more the match goes on, the more that goes away, because obviously she's thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to win. Just when you think she's got the confidence she's going to win, Victoria just takes her down. And what's Victoria's finishing move? It's the Widow's something?
Peak.
Yeah, so yeah, just when she thinks she's going to do that, like just when you think she's Jazz, I'm going to finally overcome this person that's tormenting me. Boom, out of nowhere, goes hits the Willow's Peak and gets the win.
Okay. It's a bit better than I thought it'd be, to be fair. Really
yeah, I mean,
much.
Yeah, because obviously it's the first time I've used someone that isn't like Molly Holly or like the others. So I'm hoping if I can build Victoria up to the level of the other good, rated women's wrestlers on the show. So that's the plan. So
okay, post match.
Again, hitting all the 50s, isn't it? You get a 50. You get a 50. But yeah, this is simple as well. It's just obviously as you expect. Obviously, she gets to win. She tries to tag from behind. Doesn't work. Obviously, Victoria sees it's coming. She's in Molly Holly's head at this point. She knows how it works. But yeah, I kind of done a situation where it's like she goes into ring. She's just about to go into the ring, but she's like she sees it coming. So obviously the element of surprise is gone. Right. So then obviously to send another message to Molly Holly, I put a sharpshooter or some sort of finishing maneuver, but I think I can see Victoria doing a sharpshooter. I'm not quite sure, but whatever works here. But like on Jazz, and obviously you see Jazz is tapping. Molly Holly's like looking on like in fear at this point, like, oh my god, that's going to be me soon, isn't it? Type situation. So yeah, Victoria's continuing to play the mind games with Molly Holly.
Okay, a big segment backstage. Only an 84. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean that might be because how long was it? It was quite short, right?
We made it short, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. That's fine. To be fair, I mean. Maybe it might affect the score in the end, but yeah, I was kind of took inspiration by you last week as well. You did where like put the main feud, like just have one segment on it and let the other people shine on the show. I kind of like that, so that's what I did here. Basically, it's as simple as well. We've got Triple H turns up late to the arena. I mean, this is such a Triple H move, isn't it? He may not be the champ, but he turns up on his time. So he doesn't. If he turns up like, I mean, you've seen it in wrestling 1,000 times. People turn up like an hour before the show started an hour ago, and they turn up late. It's a thing I like in wrestling. Sometimes it shows that anything can happen. But yeah, he comes. You got Triple H coming late. He gets out of it. You got Mick being furious with him, saying, "Where the hell have you been?" Like a boss that's just you've been late for an hour. And just before Triple H can even utter a word, Eddie Guerrero comes out of nowhere, literally attacks Triple H. Literally, 5 minutes. I mean, we could go properly over the plot, like putting him through a windshield, the car windshield or something like that. Proper attacking him, didn't get separated by security and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Eddie is not happy with what happened last week. He is fuming as well. I mean, again, you might have not liked this booking, but again, maybe he's unleashed Latino heat, and we all know when that happens, that's not a good thing for Triple H. So, but A4, I think that might be because it was just shorter.
It might be, but it's still not terrible. The French tickler's La Resistance for the promo.
55, okay, that's actually alright. That's actually for the level the tag team wrestling is in general on SmackDown. That's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, just calm. Yeah, I kind of like the idea with La Resistance talking about how when Paul asked them to take on, we want you to take on the Dudleys. They were like, I didn't even have to have a second thought because I want to use a bit of real life history where we all know that Rene Dupree hates Bubba Ray Dudley.
Right.
Obviously not during this time, but kind of it's put a little bit implied now, but like for obvious reasons, like he doesn't hate the Dudleys. So like going against him is a no-brainer. You know, Paul Heyman says, you want to take out the Dudleys? Easy. Not even was an easy decision. And tonight we're gonna end those them, as JR would love to say, those damn Dudleys. So
no, just keep with your Michael Cole, thank you.
No, but you got. I can't love that saying when the JR said that.
Yeah.
Damn Dudleys. Anyway, so
Dudley Boys versus La Resistance then for a 65.
That's good, very good. I didn't want to put the stipulation here because obviously I don't think you could do it on this game anyway. But I put a little bit of a weird stipulation. I don't know if this would work, but so basically, before the match, obviously didn't have to put it on here. It's fine. Is Paul Heyman comes out saying, okay, like. Because nobody knows what the stipulation is. He said he'd choose the type of match, right? Mm-hmm. So I like the idea. I like the idea of the that the Paul Heyman says, you know what, this match is going to be a no DQ match, and you go, oh, okay, that's fine. But then it's like, oh no, don't be confused. For La Resistance, it's a no DQ match, but for the Dudleys, it's a normal match.
Right.
I mean, did you ever remember the Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre match?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that for that stipulation.
Yeah.
I don't think you could have done it on this game that way, but that's why I didn't really mention it. But yeah, as you expect, obviously it's just the match is basically La Resistance using chairs, using all kinds of weapons because they can, even insult to injury, get a table out just to, you know, as you would if you want to put insult to injury. But the way this match ends is kind of a situation is that Rene Dupree hits his own partner with a chair. Was Grenier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hits him chair, obviously, and then after that he turns around, kind of turns around into a 3D by the Dudleys. So they've got the win, so that means they get the title match.
And their title match will be
to surprise to 6-7 nice to no one. Is it's going to be a tables match, but it's set up in the way that Dudley get the mic, and I can imagine him saying this, like Bubba Ray especially. He says, "No, for all your plans, Paul, they haven't worked. And if you remember, you said if we win, we get to pick the type of match we have for our title match against your boys, the world's greatest tag team. So we're going to choose a match we know very well. We're going to choose a tables match, as we just said, obviously, but like for the segment here. But and then obviously, I like the idea at the end of it. Paul Heyman's like cartoonishly flipping out, like panicking, hands in his face, chucking his hat on the floor, jumping on it. That proper comedian a little bit because Paul Heyman can do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, all his plans, all his stuff, nothing's worked. Wow. And now he's the first title defense they've got to go against the Dudleys in a tables match. So it's not looking good for Paul Heyman.
From one ECW alumni to another Rhino to promo ahead of the US title.
73. Very nice. Very nice by Rhino. But yes, this one's kind of a situation of you want Rhino's kind of saying a lot of people overlook Rhino, the name. Overlook me. I think people forget I used to be a world champion at one point. I used to be one of the biggest guys, like it was like top dog in the old ECW, as they say. But it has been a long time since I've had championship gold. So RVD, I'm going to take your title, and when I do it, you're going to hear the crowd shouting before I pin you, gore, 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 and sets up the main event.
Let's get into it. The US title, RVD versus Rhino. Your winner, Stu.
And yes. Oh, I'm so happy with that. So I will explain in a minute, but I'm just so happy with that because as I was talking about beforehand, we were talking about, you knew I was a little worried about this match. It was a bit of a risk because obviously I've done this Rhino against Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle and stuff, but RVD's are kind of, this was kind of a test. I think this is a test for RVD.
Yeah.
To see if he can do it, and he's blown it out of the park. That was an 88.
Definitely had great performance. The finish though.
This one's I said this against it's a lot. Great match, a lot to turns, but I like the idea of Rhino does hit the gore, but RVD just kicks out. Like I'm thinking, if you know them times you see like New Japan when it's like they just put the shoulder up by literally inches.
Yeah. So
it looks like it doesn't like dilute the move, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's like straight after this you got RVD, we go right, you got to try to go for the goal again. RVD moves out the way, hits like a spin heel kick, gets him on the, so takes him out, goes to the top, hits the 5-star frog splash, and I like the idea of like he's crawling because he just took a gore, so the guy's probably ribs are shot. So it's like he's just crawling, and just puts the hand over the to get the pin. 1, 2, 3, and it kind of, and the end of the match just kind of feels like it's a battle. I mean, he's like really like he's had to work for this title.
Pushed to the very limit for sure.
But
yeah, post match it doesn't go RVD's way. 91, wow.
Well, it's because Christian's in there, of course, right?
Of course,
it's Christian. Of course. But yeah, as you expect, obviously after the match, the Chris Jericho and Christian kind of take advantage of the situation, as you expect. Attack RVD. I mean, they've been doing it for the last 2 weeks, but but I like the idea that they're still fighting RVD. It wasn't taken out fully, so I like the idea of like, was it he kicks? Was it like a kick or like basically a super kick time move from RVD to take out Christian going out of the ring, and then obviously he does the same to Chris Jericho. Then RVD goes top, and then I like the idea that it's like Christian's kind of outside. He's there. He could pull his partner out of the way, but he doesn't. And then all of a sudden, RVD hits the 5-star frog splash on Chris Jericho, so he's out. And then we just have a situation of just RVD's on top, holding the title high, with Christian looking like furious, but obviously like he could have helped his friend there, and he didn't. So maybe there's more tension. So that ends the show. I don't know about the show, man.
Though. Yeah, it's up and down. 50s may have brought you down, but a good end may just get you through. 90 to beat for Monday Night Raw. Smackdown gets
90 as well. Oh.
Really good opening segment, remember, and a really good closing segment. So,
I think it's like 90, but I think as you've been talking about last couple of weeks, it's a better show, like maybe like numbers wise, and maybe like it feels more even. Because if I'm looking at it, there's a lot of greens there.
Yeah, a lot of greens than before, to be fair. So yeah, look, it is what it is. It does mean 1 week to go. You lead by 1. I can level it and take it to the Twitch chat for Backlash. So we'll see. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I know it sounds like, but I was a bit worried about this show, to be fair, because obviously I've taken a little bit of a risk not putting Eddie or Triple H really prominent in this show. I've kind of built it around the US title feud, and it's kind of worked.
It has indeed.
And also it gives me a little bit more faith for RVD that if you can get it was an 89, was it 89 now? Yeah, for against Rhino. The Rhino's great, but I wonder what you can do against the others. So that triple threat's gonna be interesting. See if it works. But I'm 90. I'm happy with that. So another draw. Jesus.
We go again. Right. Okay. Well, I needed the win. It didn't come. He managed to draw again. I had a bad week. I had a really bad week for some reason. Didn't hit, but so did he. He had 350s in a row, and somehow, this game, and it. Well, we'll pick up. Look, I still got a chance of getting that pay-per-view main event. Still got a chance of that pay-per-view main event. If I win next week and the Twitch chat decide that Brock and Shawn and Goldberg should be the main event, they will get it. But maybe Stu's main event and Triple H and Eddie Guerrero kind of deserves to be the main event. We will see. If you like the video, drop a like on it. Until next time, New AEW episode coming Friday. What day is it? Friday. Coming Friday, 4:30 with the first Dynamite and first Rampage of the series. I'm excited for that one too. Until next time, peace. Are we good? We good?